Hey everybody, this is Crazy Sarge and 8WindEagle. Hopefully everybody got that. Otherwise, I can just read the names. So on StreamYard, right underneath where it's showing the images of us
Yeah.
and all, you'll see the single, the double, and then you'll see a single with a little picture screen beside it.
I think so. Yeah.
Or you can just do a full screen on the very last one on the far right. Whenever you click on that, then you go down to screen share at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we'll click the screen share and then the Chrome tab. And then you can just click on whichever tab you want. And now everybody can see the screen that I have sharing.
Okay. Oh, Chrome tab. Okay.
I just got some of these in the mail. Gonna be kind of nice and all.
Okay.
Then if you want to change it up, you just go back to the screen share.
Oh.
You can click it off or turn it back on.
Okay.
And all. And let's just share the StreamYard so that everybody can see. Here's where you do it if you're by yourself. And if you have multiple people, you can do it here. Or if you just want to share your screen completely, you just do that.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not a lot of crazy stuff, but it is one of those things I had to figure out on the fly last time I was on.
Oh, okay. This is
But
outstanding. Give me a start.
I just got some cool stuff in the mail today. So I figure I might as well do an unboxing while I'm on here. Oh yeah, that camera's all the way down there at the bottom. That's the infrared 36 LED lights for my camera because I do a little ghost hunting here and there. Not very often, but one of our friends had an issue, and we've been telling them, well, since about the beginning of the year, to let us come over and take a look at the house and run through it and all, and check everything out. And they just finally got a hold of us a couple weeks ago and had us come over, or was going to have us come over last week, but instead we went over this week. They changed up their minds. So
Now that camera can go Wi-Fi too, can it?
Huh?
I said that camera can go Wi-Fi too, can it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes Wi-Fi to the phone to where you can watch your video from your phone and all. It has the touch screen, 48 megapixels.
Let's see. Let's see. Because I was looking at one. Let me find it. Because I wanted to run this name by you. Okay, Sony. This one is Sony HDR CX405 Full HD 60p. What do you think about that? Is that good? It's Sony HDR-CX405/B Full HD 60p video camcorder, 64 gigabytes accessory bundle,
How much are they asking for it?
$269.
Oh, so let me show you this one, and you'll probably be like, "What the heck?" and all. So this one's got a hot shoe on the top to be able to mount the microphone. Let's see, open the battery up. I thought this was supposed to come with 2 batteries. Whatever. I guess not. So
Oh wow, that's cool. That is really cool.
this one, I'm not 100% how it works and all yet. Although I'm thinking this is not what I ordered, because I got the one with the night vision, and this does not have night vision. I guess I'm going to have to look through the menu.
And what brand is that one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It was one of the ones from Amazon.
All right.
The other one I got is nice. It's the only reason I got another one is because the other day, whenever we were ghost hunting and all, the camera fell off of the dresser, and when it landed, it broke the screen a little bit. It didn't fall off. It kind of got thrown off.
Okay.
I made something really, really mad with me. But let me grab the other one, because
Okay.
it's actually a lot better. That on there. Okay. So this is this one. It's a Zoo Hulu or something like that.
Okay.
And this is what happened to it the other day.
Ooh.
But it still works.
Now it's funny, you was talking about something getting mad at you. The house my ex and I lived at, there was a spirit there, and I actually had to defeat the spirit because it was messing with my children. And I defeated it, but when we broke up, I stayed with her a couple of days before we broke up, and the spirit came back to show me it was there. And then when she was losing the house, she was doing a indoor garage sale, and so she had a chair. I was leaning back. You know how when you get office chairs and they go bad, and when you lean back, they lean back too far. And that damn spirit pushed me and made me fall over. I bam, landed on my back. It was letting me know that it was still there.
So let's see, I'm gonna do this.
Now that one has night vision too?
This one does.
Oh, bet. Okay. I don't think this one I'm looking at does. And
Because
this one
this
doesn't
little
come
light,
with a mic either.
the little light right over here,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Oh,
the
bet.
IR. You
Yeah,
can
this one
turn it
doesn't
on
have
and
a mic.
off. But you get the nice little stereo mic.
Yeah.
And got its little cover and all. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's only a 16 times zoom. It's the 4K Ultra HD touch panel night shot, 48 megapixels. It does 1080p video in HD, I think it is.
Okay.
It could just be 720, but you can also use it for web streaming and all also. And this one actually came with the IR flashlight too.
Wow.
But it was probably around 200, 220, something like that
Oh, that's not bad.
for that one. Where this one was probably about, I don't know. Oh, maybe this might actually have the night vision. I just noticed it's got lights right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually I just pulled this out of the box as you saw.
Right.
But on the microphones, one of the nice things is right here, right here. The one at the bottom here, what it's already on, is negative 10 decibels. So that would be like if you're right here talking to it.
Okay.
And all. And then if you just want it set up for the room, then you just put it on the 0 decibels, which is the center mark. And the plus 20 decibels is if you're wanting to hear stuff outside of where you are or for long distance. And then it's got, I forget what this other side is. I want to say it's kind of like a noise canceling, but it can also be set up. I think it is for like voice activated or sound activated and all.
Okay.
But that's just one of these. I mean, I'm probably going to get different mics myself just because I don't really care for this kind.
Okay.
But these lights that I got though, these are the real kicker for everything on for me. Pull that out of there. So these have the hot shoe mount and all. So I can just stick them on the camera. Kind of like a floodlight.
Yeah.
But it also has mounts on all three of the other sides for other stuff to be hooked in.
That is cool. Convenient too.
So you could actually like make a whole panel of the IR lights if you were outside and you wanted to be able to light up the whole area.
Yeah. That's cool.
So I thought that was pretty nifty. But this new one, actually came with the remote. I don't know. Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, lit up.
It said power or lights. Oh, I think this needs battery. Oh, it has a tab in there.
Yeah, a lot of these, the one I was looking at, doesn't come with the microphone. It comes with lights, but it doesn't come with the microphone, as far as I see.
Yeah.
So I'd have to order that separate.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, here's another question. You know, my talk shoe I can't get it to turn on here. Somebody was telling me there's a settings in here that I need to turn on to let the talk shoe calls come in. Do you know where I would find that? Because I was trying to mess with these settings and I don't see where it says I can turn on, or would I have to mute? No, I don't think muting would do it.
So if you were, does your talk shoe have video?
Yeah,
Where
it
you can
does
see the
video
people?
too. Yep, it'll
Okay.
do video too.
So for that, you can do the screen share.
Yeah.
And whenever you tell it to add the screen, or you click on whatever screen it is, you can actually tell it to add audio.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
a little tiny box, which I wish they'd let me share that, but they won't let me show that.
Okay.
But there's like a little tiny box that you check. Say
And
like
that'll turn on your voice.
when the big screen opens up and all, is like right down here by the bottom, underneath everything.
Okay.
For I think it's allow audio and all.
Okay. Thank you. I think I can figure that out. Thank you so much. So cool of you to take the time. It's funny, I couldn't connect with the phone. My phone wouldn't let me connect. I had to grab the computer.
I think that is one thing that StreamYard says is, it says you either need a laptop or desktop, recent version of Chrome or Firefox, mic, webcam, and good internet connection. So what I actually use from my phone, because I've only got like 50 to 70 subscribers,
okay,
and all, I can actually stream live from my phone because I've been using Streamlabs. So, it's probably isn't going to show very good. Let me try to turn down my brightness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, can't really see it very well, but you got your record button. You can shut off your microphone, pause it and all, or something. Oh, switch the camera around.
Very cool.
And you can even get messages and stuff, or shut them off on there. Yeah, Streamlabs, I've used it once or twice now, and it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst.
Okay.
But I don't know how well you can see it. It's right there beside the YouTube little green thing with like glasses.
Yep.
So that's what it's under. But that'll let you live stream from your phone anytime, even without having 1,000 viewers. Which I do have a feeling that YouTube is going to kick that up to like 5,000 or 10,000 before long.
I know my son's Community Splash channel just reached 1,000. But he's had some good videos that got quite a lot of views, but he was under the 1,000.
But it just hit 1,000, right?
Yeah, it just hit the 1,000. So he hasn't even got his AdSense. Because that's what happens is you get an AdSense ID card, or not ID, but a number. And then you plug that number in, and that's how the process gets started.
Oh, nice. See, I've never done AdSense because everybody that your brother and I used to roll with on YouTube, they were all about the AdSense, making the money and all that, and trying to live off of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? I mean,
Yep.
at that time, I've basically been unemployed since I got out of the Army. So I got medicaled out. And yeah, I haven't gotten much for a long time. I'm doing a little better now, but that's my partner. I don't know if you could hear that ringing. It's just in the other. It's just in the other room, so you could just come back here and I could mute.
Now, how long were you in the Army?
I was in Navy first for 4 years, 03 to 07, and then I went to the Army from 08 to 2011.
Okay. Did you get stationed overseas?
Yeah, I did 2 deployments in the Navy, and then I did 1 in the Army.
Okay. Wow.
And you know, that's one of the things I kind of wanted to bring up last night, but it's easier to say it than have to type it all out with 200 characters
Right.
and all. But it, you know, I was actually told by people from Afghanistan that, you know, they don't hate us. They hate the fact that we don't take anything for granted. We just, oh, my computer broke. Let me go buy another one. Just toss it out. Or just want to upgrade a TV and just toss the other one in the trash and all. We don't really value the stuff that we have. And that's what they don't like about the society as a whole. It has nothing to do with the religious stuff or, you know, anything else. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, that's why they hate us is because we're Christians and we're white and we're Americans. No, I got it from the horse's mouth of what the issue is. So that's what I have to go by.
Mm.
Because I told them flat out, you know, I'm not objective to anything you have to tell me. Tell me the worst. And just be honest. Because you could tell they were about to chocolate cover everything. And I was like, no, give me the bitterest bit that you can. Because I want to know the truth. I like learning about other cultures, other ways of life, how everybody operates and all, because I'm all about the information. And they're like, oh, okay, well, this is the issue we have. And I actually asked several of them, and they all brought up the same thing, saying it differently, but the same exact issue. And it was like, okay, that makes sense. I wish it didn't make sense, but
Did you hear the thing I said about Pat Tillman, where Pat Tillman started complaining about protecting the poppy fields, and then he ends up getting hit by friendly fire? Because at first I didn't even think he went over there. You know, I was thinking that it was just a cover to recruit people, but apparently he did go over there, and that was his complaint.
I'm not sure if I heard that part completely or about who it was you were talking about, but you know what Afghanistan has a lot of?
What's that?
Marijuana.
Mm.
They literally have like 20-foot trees of marijuana fields.
Okay.
And from what I understand, the stems on those things are about that big around for the trunks on them. Because we had guys that took pictures out there, and they all got checked when they got back to the base or the cop site we were at, and they got checked head to toe, all their pockets turned out to make sure they didn't have any leaves in their pocket.
Dang.
Because somebody decided they were going to bring some back and dry it out and start smoking it out there in Afghanistan. And it's like, come on, guys. You want to smoke that stuff? Smoke it when you're not over here.
Exactly.
I mean, but I don't care if you do it, just don't do it where my life's in the balance.
Right. But you know what let me tell you what makes sense about what you're saying is because there was a type of hash that went around called Afghani black. And that was hash. And so that makes a lot of sense. Matter of fact, I saw old video of old dude in Afghanistan just having a screen, and he had like a pound in his hand, and he's just running it up and down the screen, you know, trying to get it resined up. So I remember what you're saying now. So yeah, I can dig that.
And that's one of the ultimate reasons why we were over in Afghanistan, besides the oil and all that, trying to cause conflict to get the oil fields. So during past presidencies, we didn't want to keep them. We just wanted to take them and give them to certain people.
Right.
Where now Trump was like, no, screw that. We're taking it.
Yep.
And all. And, you know, we'll make sure y'all have peace over here. You give us the oil fields. Which, on a business standpoint, I completely understand why he did it. On a political standpoint, I can also see why he did it. Now, do I think it's a good thing for us to be over there controlling the oil fields over there? No. That's a lot of manpower to send over there and a lot of money to give up every year. Though we give up probably $2 trillion a year to aid all these other countries. Just a yearly allowance. Here, have $2 billion.
Look what they give to Israel. Like if you break down, they give them millions of dollars a day. A day.
Oh yeah.
Millions of dollars a day.
Yep.
And then they were saying the infrastructure in America is so bad. And don't forget about Clinton. Clinton gave Afghanistan, what was it, 40 million? He was giving the warlords 40 million apiece to not sell poppies. Duh.
Yeah. But in a way, we got that back because they said, oh, we're going to give you this for humanitarian aid. But for that humanitarian aid, we're going to give you guns. You're going to pay us that money back. It's a lot of cloak and dagger stuff of how we get the money back.
Right.
And all. And it never goes back into our pockets. It goes into particular pockets.
It's kind of like that movie War Dogs. Remember War Dogs? Yeah. They was circumventing to send the arms that was banned to send.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it's like.
I've run across some arms dealers, and it's interesting how they can move things around. I'm like, whoa.
And how do you like there at the end of it where they come in and say, okay, there's going to be a person that's a lot higher ranked than you that's going to give you a phone call, and you're going to take that phone call, and they're going to tell you to let me go. And there's nothing you can do about it. And sure enough, 3 minutes later, the phone rings. He comes back in all pissed off and opens the door, and the guy walks out.
Yep.
People don't understand that's how everything wheels and deals. I mean, I don't know if you saw my last live stream that I did afterwards and all, but I was talking about how there's different levels and all. And it comes up to there's always going to be somebody at a higher level and all. They don't want you to get to that higher level because they want to be higher than you. Now, there's some people out there, very small percentage, that are willing to help you move up to their level and hopefully get past them to where you'll be nice enough, since they helped you, to come back and help them get to that level and move back up again to better yourself. And, there's a lot of people out there that are just too afraid. That's why I made the comment last night of, you were talking about in the North End and all that, where they had the 3 factories where they put all the natives. It all comes down to the grand scheme of plans. You have to work to get yourself out of that situation. I hate to say that. I mean, I understand the plan ultimately is basically a type of genocide and all. And there's nothing we can really do to stop a government from overtaking everything and putting people where they want them at. Whether it be a poverty-stricken area to where they become in poverty, or stick them in a high-class area, and all of a sudden, bam, everything works out for them and all. It's just one of those things that people that aren't free thinkers and all that and care about the knowledge and want to check everything, they're not really going to do a lot better than what they're doing the rest of the time. Hold on just a second.
Yep.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right.
But yeah, people could always try. I know some people try to better themselves and may not be able to because of circumstances. But there's always a way to circumvent the circumstances, the way I see it.
Sure. Like the natives here that have the casino, I remember they lived in shacks on that same land. They lived in shacks, and then they got the gambling thing. And like what they did in Michigan, especially around Battle Creek, the Marshall area, they saw the political power those people were going to have. And that's what they were afraid of letting them have a casino in Michigan, because that does bring certain political power. But what they do here with the Lakota Indians here, natives here, is they pay the fire department, they pay the police department, they put money into the schools. So they made them buy one of them stupid windmills, the giant windmills with the big blades, that they move them on Lake Superior. You go up to Lake Superior, up in Saint Duluth. They got all them big windmills that cause more problems, more pollution than what they're worth. And so, but they made them that thing cost millions of dollars, and they made them buy one, and you hardly ever see it working. But that's the pressure they put. You're going to spend this money to help this company.
Yep. Well, it's like out here in Colorado. To get the marijuana approved and all, they wanted a way to tax it, but they had to put out a viable plan of what they were going to do with the taxes from it. It's supposed to go, I think, like 95% is supposed to go towards education for schools and all. And yet they keep saying, hey, we don't have the money to give the schools. It's like, what? Y'all are raking in billions of dollars in taxes every year, but you ain't got a dime to give to the schools. Now that you've maxed out what you said because you thought this was all you were going to get for the taxes, they've given that like $450,000 or something out of the billions that they're getting. And they never realized that it was going to be as big of a area and all as what they thought it would. And the freaking government here tried to say, oh, we want to put that towards the roads. No. You already jacked up our taxes everywhere else by the votes, because they can't raise taxes in Colorado for anything unless it's voted upon. So, I mean, that's one of the good things about Colorado, but they tried to take that and remove that law. And it had to come to a vote. And everybody said, what is no? You're not taking it.
Do they really have the signs in Colorado says there's checkpoints, like going hundreds of miles before you get to the border, that there's supposedly marijuana checkpoints? Do they have that, or is that just a...
I haven't seen them myself, but I haven't been really going out and about.
Okay. Now, was that your first time to Michigan? When you went to Michigan, was that your first time going to Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've been up to the Great Lakes and all.
All right.
And I've been to the Mall of America.
Oh, all right.
And of course, I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it is.
Having dealerships and a big old amusement park and all that inside a building. Yep. I was like, come on, let me test drive something.
They got part of the casino in there. There's a little place where you can go in there and gamble. Mystic Lake has a little shop that's been there since it opened, and you can go there and play blackjack.
Wow.
Yep. Flight simulator.
And, sorry, not to cut you off. I just thought about something. The moderators and all that on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The only way you can put somebody back as a moderator is by going into YouTube and setting that up again.
Yeah, I saw that.
It used to be one of the things if they could only be a moderator for 6 months.
Oh.
And then it turned into a year, and then until you choose to take it away. And if you ever choose to give it back, then you have to go and do it all again.
Okay.
Just so you know, so everybody else can find out about that, because I know how it works. That's why I was just like, okay.
But see, that goes through OBS too. When you're in StreamYard, if you go back into your OBS, then that's how you can make people moderators. They're going back through OBS instead of StreamYard. but I haven't figured out how to turn that back on. It seems like StreamYard knocked that out.
All you have to do is when you go into YouTube, let me switch my YouTube account back over because I jumped into a different one.
Okay.
No, that's not what I wanted to do. Sign out. Okay. Let me jump on to, let me share that one. YouTube. No, I'm not going to share the audio on that one. Because that'll just start making me go crazy. So, okay. So, when you go to your YouTube studio, that's what you have to go through. Then you go to, I believe it's the settings. Here we are. Under community on the settings,
Okay.
the automated filters shows the moderators, and you can just add people in and all that.
Okay.
And approved users can pretty much type whatever they want without anything being blocked or anything.
Okay.
And of course, I've got a lot of people blocked. But yeah.
Okay. I think I can follow that.
And you know, it's kind of interesting of how many videos I have, because I guess I got 109 videos. Of course, a lot of them weren't on regular topics; they were of drag shows and all. And oh, yep, there's the one of me being up in Lansing.
Okay.
But then you can switch over to live streams. Let's see how many of those you had. Guess I had 39 of those and all. But yeah,
I
it's
tell
just
you what, speaking of drag shows, one of the best bars in Minneapolis is called the Gay 90s. And you talk about, oh, my TV just went off. You talk about a whole experience, giving you shows, the best music in town. It's a building, huge building. And you're talking about 3 or 4 different clubs, but they have a show on, I think it's Sunday. And it's just the coolest thing because you go in there and everybody can be themselves. And then you have the performers and the amount of money and tips the performers get. And they're just putting on the hits. They're not really singing. They're putting on the hits, but they were raking in the dough. And my ex and I, we used to go up because she liked the place. And so we used to go there, and it was like some of the funnest club in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Because all the clubs are downtown. Because what they did is everybody went to the Mall of America in the 90s. Then they banned smoking inside the Mall of America. And you talk about a collapse of a floor. The 4th floor was the clubs. And it was just full of clubs. And now the 4th floor is basically empty. They've got Hooters and the Comedy Club. That's it. On a whole floor that was full. And that's all that's left. So if you ever come to Minneapolis, well, depending on if things go back, that is one of the best bars in the city, by far.
Well, shoot, if I'd have realized you were over in Minneapolis itself, or if I had a way to get a hold of you and all when I was up in Michigan, I was like, we could always just run up across the top side and run over and say hi.
No, that would be too
No.
long. I stay near the UP. Like it takes me 10 hours to go to Michigan, about 9.5, 10 hours from here. But if you went that way, that would take about 14 hours to come because you have to go through Duluth. You go through Superior, Wisconsin, Duluth, and then you shoot down. I'm about 3 hours from Duluth. So going
Well, it
through
was. I mean, it was already like 22, 23 hours to get back to Colorado. So
oh
what's another 9?
yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah, that had to be quite a trip.
Oh yeah, especially for my truck.
Because I think
Being
I'm
in,
10 hours from you. I think is about 10 hours. I think it's 10 hours to Denver. I think from Minneapolis to Denver, I think it's 10 hours in a drive.
yeah, I think my partner does like 11 to 12 hours, something like that.
Okay.
Because he's been up there several times
All right.
doing inventory for RGIS for the Home Depots.
Oh, okay. We have a family member that does something very similar. My brother and I. He's around the world. He does that around the world.
Yeah, I know my partner would love to catch something like that and all, but we're doing good with him just going out of state and all that because they get paid the drive time plus the actual store time. And if their store time and drive time goes over the 40 hours, then they get the extra pay for that, for the overtime.
Okay.
They actually combined it all to see if there's any overtime.
Cool.
Plus, they get $25 a day per diem and all. He's got one of the company vehicles right now because we don't have a running vehicle at the moment. Hope, hopefully, before the next week or two, we'll have one.
You didn't go through what is it, Wounded Warriors? They wouldn't give you any help?
I don't even bother with them. They were so corrupt.
Oh, okay.
Less than, oh, what was it? I saw something on it probably 5, 6 years ago. Like 3% of the money actually goes towards any wounded warrior. Otherwise, it's just certain ranks that they were like targeting
Okay.
for giving any help to.
I knew a dude that worked that went through them and they helped him get a car. I
Well,
don't.
I've got vehicles. It's just I've got my truck in the shop right now. It needs it's getting head gaskets done. Our friend actually gave us a 2001 Subaru Outback, and it was already at the shop to have a timing belt put on. They found out that the valves are probably bent, so I went and gave them $500 for an engine, and they're putting that in, and then we'll have it back. Plus, the person didn't take the motor out like they said they were going to and deliver the motor itself. They took the whole car, so we should have all the lights and lens covers that we need also. And sure enough, my van, I've been looking at transmissions. I could probably get one for about 500-600 bucks, maybe $800 with the freight shipping and all. And it completely remanufactured. And my van's already got 300,000 miles on it almost. I think it's 292,000 miles. And I'd literally talked to the mechanic Saturday and all. Well, that Saturday. And then he was fixing our buddy's truck. And we came home Sunday, or maybe he fixed it on Sunday, whatever. But when we got home Sunday, I went down to the 7-Eleven and back, about a quarter mile away, and parked the van. Next morning, my partner went to go to work, and torque converter's locked up. So I could get a torque converter for like $130, and pull it all off and put it on there and then hope the transmission doesn't go bad. Or I can just get another transmission and then rebuild that one.
I know the feeling, brother, because it's like we getting winter up here, and I got 4 tires that need to be replaced.
Oh, well, once I get my truck back, I've got to do the steering on it and get it aligned.
I got to get alignment too.
Because the front tires are kind of like that. Well, so the top, instead of being flat, it's actually cupped to the outside on cutting down. So I know I need an alignment. And that's all because I tried to do one myself, but it's a lifted truck on 35s. So it's not very easy to get that all aligned with a tape measure.
Yeah, I had a company, Big Old Tires, threw my tires out of balance. I had brand new tires. And then I go to thinking, because they rotated my tires without my permission, because my car was set up perfect. And they didn't even ask me. They just rotate them, and then they threw them out of balance. And so you can feel the wobble. And so my right tire is almost completely bald. But the car is so heavy. I have a 05 Freestyle, but the car is so heavy that it still pushes through the snow, even though the tires aren't really gripping, but it's still heavy enough to push through the snow.
Oh, yeah. So before I had troubles with my transmission on my van, I had new tires put on it. I think it was at a Big O. Not sure. Or yeah, it was. I think it was the Big O tires. They changed the tires, not a problem. Balanced them and everything. But when they put them on, they put 3 of them on correctly for the lug nuts. One of them, they had the lug nuts backwards. I took it back down there. I said, I need to talk to the boss man. He's like, oh, I'm really busy. I'm really busy. I'm like, well, you're going to want to see this. I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble, but I want this fixed now. When he came out there and actually looked at it, he was like, because he heard me talking to the tech, he said, this guy is one of my best guys. He'll take care of you. When he heard what I was talking about, he said, what? I said, yeah, it's only been about 100 miles of driving like that. I'm surprised that the studs haven't snapped off. And he went out there and looked. He's like, what the? That ain't right. I'm going to have somebody fix it right now. They literally took it back, wheeled a jack out, jacked it up, changed out the lug nuts. I think they even gave me new lug nuts because of it. And it was like, okay, as long as it's fixed, that's all I care. Because like one of the times I took my Mountaineer that I had to Walmart to get the oil changed. So I was doing tires. I figured we'll go ahead and do an oil change. Normally I do them myself. And my vehicles never leak. When I got back from Walmart, I noticed a little tiny spot about that big on the ground. I'm like, what is that from? It could be residual, so we'll just go with it. You know, sometimes they splash oil around. But I moved it around a few times, and by then, any residual should have been dripped off. And I get out there one morning, and I see a puddle about that big. I took it back up to that Walmart, and I said, now, I just had my oil change the other day. My grandpa's ran a service shop all of his life for about 35 years or so. I've been in that shop. I've worked in that shop. I've done all my own oil changes, never had a leak or residual drip. Y'all messed it up. Y'all gonna fix it with the synthetic oil that I bought. They didn't like that.
I had a new car, took it to a gas station, service station to get the oil changed, drove it to the light after they got done, and the car just stopped. They forgot to put the oil screw back in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, seized my engine up. They had to build me a new engine, and then I kept having to sue them because they didn't connect everything. They gave me a 1950 Cadillac to drive around. What a big yeah. So I had that done. So I feel you. I totally feel you in that department.
Yeah, my buddy down the street, he works for Kia. And, well, he worked at one on the north end of town first. Got a job starting off as a lube tech and all that, and then moved up to actual mechanic and all. So he needed an actual mechanic. And the guy that got him the job also lived in our trailer court and then moved to another one. That guy sent 3 vehicles out without oil in them. And he got terminated. It's like, I can't really blame him. I wouldn't let you touch one of my vehicles knowing that you let one go out without oil. And then he had to have me help him put a transmission or something like that in one of his vehicles. And I was like, let's make sure we do this correctly. Because I'm not going to have you coming back at me being like, oh, well, you messed it up. No, we're going to do this the right way. And I'm going to hold this thing up in the air while you put all the bolts in. And of course, he thought I was crazy having that much weight sitting on my chest. And I'm just sitting there, arms locked, holding it like right here above my chest on the end of the bell. And he's like, I don't think I can reach these. I said, you better figure out something. About 150 pounds of weight on my chest right now.
Right.
But yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. I had. Yeah, it looks like you can add up to 3 people at a time on here.
If you pay, you can add more. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
about paying. It's not that much. So I'm thinking about upgrading with the pay, because then it'll take the StreamYard symbol off if you pay.
Well, I think it's up to 6 people or 10 people without paying.
Something like that. But you only can stream 20 hours a month too.
Yeah.
And yesterday my 20 hours went up yesterday, so I'm back. So I'm thinking about paying a little bit to unlimited streaming. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Well, buddy, I got to go jump in the shower. I got to go pick up my daughter. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to subscribe to your channel for sure.
All right.
I'll get you do, and we should do this again for sure. We'll do this again.
Oh yeah. I was trying to get you and Triple both on here to throw some stuff around, because there's a lot of the spiritual side of stuff that I want to talk about and question and all that I know y'all would be more of the experts in those fields and all. And of course, trying to get your brother to have time sometimes isn't the easiest.
Got a house full. And I wanted to say, like, when you look for ghost, like I think I told the story before where I had to smudge and we released a being. What you want to look for is that being's favorite room, where that being would be, or like the case I gave is the girl died in a certain room. And so in that room, we gave offerings. but we had to smudge. I had to smudge the whole house, and she had one of them old basement spider webs everywhere, and I'm like just covered with spider webs. You have to really get every inch of the house, and so I had to go upstairs, and so we go outside, and she just pushes out with the smoke. The individual, you could actually see where the sage almost burned in my hand, but that was the push out we needed. And so sometimes you have to be kind of thorough with trying to make it, especially if it's bothering people, because some spirits don't really bother people. I have a friend that they built her condominiums on old would have probably been a reservation 100 years ago, but she said that it doesn't really bother her, and there's a cool balance. And so
well, the one I dealt with the other day, I actually used vessels to trap them.
Okay.
And everybody says, well, how do you dispose of it? How do you get rid of it? Well, it enters the vessel. I bring the vessel into my house as my threshold neutralizes negative, positive energy whenever it comes in. It's all neutral energy at that point. So when it comes to other things, I've been known to cast the stuff out. But when it's just energies, it's as simple as walking into my house.
I can dig that. That reminds me of the magicians had that, where they were actually capturing the male jinn like that, and then they were bottling him up. And Diablo kind of did the same thing. You watch Diablo; it kind of does the same thing, where they can catch the. They deal with demons, where they can actually catch and bottle the demons. It takes a little more practice to kind of mess with that, but that's what they show you in the series, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I've only been doing this stuff since I was 15, so it's only been about 20 years now, where I've been actually like full-fledged into working and all that into it. But I've been kind of dealing with all the spiritual side of stuff ever since I can remember.
I can dig it. And just like I tell my story, can you imagine in 1980, like who do you talk to about astral traveling? It's like that wasn't a lot of people. And it really wasn't until the mid 90s, and I started finding communities and pockets, and then research that people talking about this. So it was almost 10, 15 years before the research came out, just where everyone could have access to the research.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to, I kind of want to learn how to astral travel, but at the same time, I kind of don't, because if I know it, I want to do it. But I still have that kind of little hindrance of, if I go out when I know what's trying to find me and take over me, the chance of it doing it while I'm out of my body. Oh, shoot. Your brother says, I see you two knuckleheads.
That's why you could use the czar movement and flip the script on the being you think is after you. You could flip the script and see through that being's eyes by using the czar movement.
Yeah.
And then it thinking it's messing with you would be it. And like, okay, this is where we're at. So keep that in mind. Astro and ether might not be for everybody. The czar path is there too.
Well, I don't know if you've paid attention to like any of the ghost hunter stuff, if you watch any of that.
A little bit.
When they're using night vision cameras and they show each other, their eyes always show up with like a little white gleam in them every time because of the light bouncing off.
Sure.
Well, my buddy didn't like the fact that he noticed in the video, because I had my camera running when we were doing everything and closed off the room, but I pointed out the areas in which there was issues from what they were saying, and he noticed my eyes were completely black. And it was like, I don't know what to tell you. except I'm better than a skinwalker, and he doesn't like skinwalkers at all.
Okay.
So that
I
kind of screwed with him a bit. But yeah,
tell you what, when I met Muhammad Ali, he had the deadest eyes of any person I ever personally met. He had black dead eyes. And he was probably only in his mid to late 50s, but he had the deadest eyes of anybody I personally met. And it's like, whoa, what can do that to you? But thank you. I do got to go, but I appreciate it. And let's definitely do it soon. There he goes. What's happening?
but
But
all right.
send me an invite again and we'll do this again. Okay. I appreciate your help. I do really do. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, maybe we can get Triple to be on a computer so he can actually use StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Yep. Talk to you later. All right. How's it going, Trip? So I don't think you got to see yet, since you just got on and all. But so here's the camera that you saw that I sent a little video of. This is what happened the other night, but it's still working and all. But I do got my new rig. Let's see, we got to open that one up too. All right. So at this, which I was hoping would be able to screw onto here, but I don't think it will. So I have to figure out something on that. But I'm going to take that out of there and put it on. I don't know. But so I've got these bad boys here. should go on there somehow. No. Okay. I think I figured it out. So that goes on that side. This goes on this side. No? See what this says. Blah, blah, blah. I wonder if that was actually switching over just because of that. Oh, remote controlled night vision. Cool, cool. So, I don't see how this one piece goes on here. I've got some extra hot shoe mounts that I was hoping I could put in the sides up here, but I guess not. But that I can do. Then we take one of these rigs. And I don't know. I gotta have to figure it out and then send some pictures or something. All right, y'all. Have a good one. This is Crazy Sarge. We had 8WindEagle on here today, or Time Lord, however you know him by. Y'all have a good day. I will try to get this up and going and then maybe upload some videos. And have a good one, y'all.